All right, all my gamers, all my gaming gamers today, because this is going to be a whole discussion about gamers in general. But first, I just want to say, for anyone who is Mexican in my audience, happy Cinco de Mayo. You know, it is Cinco de Mayo, and I saw this picture, loved it, had to show it. And also, chat, I guess not a lot of people know because I just had more people randomly find out. I have a Discord if anyone wants to join that, 18 plus, of course. So I got taken through the ringer today trying to figure out where the hell all this started and where I'm trying to go with this. So I thought this was something that was new with our Anita Sarkeesian. This is not, right? So obviously this discussion that I was going to have today, I thought it was going to be my turn to get into the Gamergate stuff. You know, Gamergate 3, I'm getting in there. You know me, I've been waiting for something to talk about these people, but no, this isn't new. This is completely old. Let's forget about it. But yeah, this came up and has gone insanely viral. 8 million posts, chat, giga nuclear reaction, right? I know this is unpopular, but it will always be unattractive for a grown man to play video games, chat. Some women might be understanding or pretend like they don't care. You spend hours playing, but they do. It is extremely unattractive to women and will never not be. So here's the thing, right? I never know where this is going. I never know where people get this generalization from, because man, as someone who's played a ton of video games and has played competitive video games, right? PvP games where you talk to other people, a game specifically the PvP ones are the ones where you can like talk to your team or talk to other people. How do I say this and not make it sound inappropriate? I have found a ton of women in there who find people who are good at the game attractive, right? I have boosted my fair share of women to gold. Now, mind you, I wasn't even that good at League of Legends either. When I was playing League of Legends, the most I got was like barely about to be plat, right? So I wasn't the greatest. But you got to understand where most of the player base is at for League. It was like silver, right? Like silver, bronze. So boosting people was kind of easy, and I did it to like I even have like women who would I had a few girls who would watch me play League and they found that attractive. Or like, chat, Valorant is literally what's the word I'm looking for? God. Chat, what is it called? Tinder for video games. And chat, you know how I know that this is BS and how much you know that this is wrong? There is literally a term for the girls who play healer and are, yeah, you know what, like, you're acting like the term heal slut isn't a term, right? So women who play these games themselves are attractive. Now mind you, if there are like normie women and stuff like that, I don't want to like throw them under the bus and be like, oh God, no one likes normie women. But for normie women, I understand it, right? Because like you probably don't get the appeal, don't understand it. I know people who don't get the appeal or don't understand video games. That's totally fine. You know, I mean, that's kind of why I would rather meet a girl through a video game than not through a video game, because then at that point, I know I have a common interest. If you don't have a common interest in video games, that's totally fine, right? Maybe it'll work out, maybe not. You know, it's what it is. Let's go to the next one. I'm not saying this to attack men, by the way. I'm just speaking objectively here. Which got community noted. Man, you ain't getting get that money, brother. You ain't getting cash off that. The statement that women find men unattractive playing video games is entirely subjective, not objective. This user is not speaking objectively in any regard. Yeah, they're regarded all right, that's for sure. All sense of ration. This is the part where we completely lost the plot and everything just completely goes off the rails, by the way. I don't know where the hell any of this comes from. All sense of rationality and reason goes away when the topic of men playing video games get brought up. The men turn into raging, irrational feminists over it. Needs to be studied. What the hell does that mean, brother? Wait, what? Is it because like the men are like protecting women over it or something? Like where did this come from? Maybe I don't understand it. And then she linked this, which I'm going to read it here in a second. So I just want to look at some of the responses. I know I've seen somebody. Let me read some of these responses up here. The weird part about these responses is that Twitter has a weird thing where, relevant. Can I get to the most likes? Is that possible? Idiotic statement. Look how many triggered people. I know this is unpopular, but it'll always be unattractive for a grown woman to make threads about what they expect out of men. Some men might be understanding or pretend like they don't care, but they do. It is extremely unattractive for men, and it will never not be. So people are basically like throwing this overhead. How many likes did this get, by the way? Where is it? This got, let's say, 5.2K. With 16K responses. Brother, I ain't gonna cap, brother. They're beating your ass in the quote retweets. Right? I want to read a little bit of this guy's response. Chat, when I tell you I don't know where any of this came from, it all went off the rails. I'm not lying. A quick thoughts on the topic. One, this is clearly an area where there's this Christian liberty. You can't say that it's a sin to play video games any more than you can say that it is a sin to watch a movie, though it should be obvious in both cases that some video games would inherently be sinful. What? ¿Qué? No sé qué está pasando. ¿Qué estás diciendo, güey? I don't know where this came from, chat. I just thought, like, maybe, you know what? Maybe we'll just read Rosie's response and we'll take it home. We'll go home after Rosie's response, because and I tell you, it went so far off the rails that I don't know what some of these people are saying. I'm not capping, chat. Anyways, all right, I'll say it. There's nothing more attractive than a girl insisting dudes change their hobbies to appease an artificial attractiveness scale. The mentality is so entitled coming from either gender, like go change yourself for me. It's called having different interests, and like it makes friendships, relationships, cultures, everything more interesting. Having a good personality carries way more looks than looks at a hollow soul ever will, which is, I completely agree, right? Rosie's always based. We love Rosie Belmu. We love her. And I think that's just it. Like, if you find men playing video games unattractive, maybe that's just not the person for you, right? That's totally fine. Like, I don't understand. You don't have to date that person. You don't have to change them and mold them to be the person for you. It's the same thing for men, though. Men don't have to change and mold the women that they are, quote unquote, attracted to fit whatever needs that they need. People should just find each other attractive. Now, that being said, can you grow with each other? Yeah. And does growing evidently mean you might have to put down the controller every once in a while, whether you like to or not, because you have responsibilities? Of course, right? I just talked to, a homie at work yesterday. He plays video games. He has a son. He got into video games because his dad got him into video games. His dad still plays video games. He's like 50. So it's like, I asked him too. I was like, oh, are you going to get your son into video games? He's 3. He said, maybe. I don't know. And, maybe I thought of it myself. Would I want my kid to get into video games? Well, I would want him to get into sports, see how that takes, right? He's going to be part Mexican or full-blooded Mexican. He's got a birthright to adhere to. He has to play soccer. But yeah, this is an interesting one, that's for sure. I had more. Oh, here we go. I wanted to look at Kungmin Lee's response, but I got I lost it. Again, I'm banned. I can't find these people who I follow. If it's an addiction that takes the place of its primary responsibilities, then sure, but there's nothing wrong with men playing video games as a hobby. True. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that women find it attractive. What? Also, I think he almost no, he didn't ratio her, but he has a better he didn't ratio her, but Kang Min Lee has a better ratio of responses, right? 3,000 likes. And say, and they just like continue this dialogue. That is simply not true. I know that women who find it unattractive, but every girlfriend I had didn't mind playing with me. I agree, but there are some exceptions. In general, this is true. I just don't know why this Lizzie girl is like hell bent on it being objective. It's not. It's subjective, and that's totally fine, right? If you don't like a dude who plays video games, it's what it is, chat. I just thought that was silly, right? It took me through a roller coaster as I was trying to set up the video, chat. Anyways, let me know how you guys feel. Comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you gamers in the next one. Bye.